Looking back at the classic 10 Years After album, A Space in Time, with drummer Ric Lee. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. The brand new 10 Years After album is called A Sting in the Tail. It's going to be released on March 19th. I've had a chance to listen to it. There is not a bad track off it. If you're a fan of the band or a fan of the classic rock sound, there are some groups that don't have it anymore. 10 Years After? Man, I know Alvin Lee is long past, but I highly recommend this album. And in this series, we'll be talking about specific songs, and we'll also have a feature on it on March 19th on our sister site, Rock History Book. Everyone's on Facebook putting together this list of albums, a whole bunch of albums that are turning 50. And I've got a list of like 60 albums. No, I'm not going to ask you about them, don't worry. But like Zeppelin, Metal by Floyd.
You know what's 50 this year in October?
A Space in Time. A Space in Time is 50.
Yeah.
I had it on my list. I mean, looking back at the album, what's your thoughts? Because people were saying, "Oh, they've changed. They're a little lighter now." Were they influenced by Zeppelin or?
No, I think it was the best one that Alvin ever wrote, in my opinion. That's when he started to write really good songs. I thought when we signed to Columbia for that album, Clive Davis, and Davis said to us, "If I want to give you a gold record." So give me an album that has a song or songs on it that can get you a gold album. You need singles, because we never really had singles before. We didn't make them purposely. It wasn't our thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Love Like a Man was the classic example with the single that was done in England. I don't know whether they did it in America or not.
By the way, let me interrupt you. When I heard "Do You Feel Like We Do" or whatever by Frampton, I remember thinking that sounds a bit like "Love Like a Man" to me. I don't know what it was. I remember.
It could well have been because the tour that we did where they recorded "Frampton Comes Alive," he was the support band, so he could well have got influenced. I mean, you could say he probably nicked something, but I mean that's what people do. It's an influence,
The first song, "Land of the Vandals," I remember. I like the phrasing in that song. I like the way Marcus sings. I just remember going, for any fans who appreciated or are going, because a lot of fans now, they've got all the streaming service and they go, "Oh, 10 years after, well, I didn't get into them," or this band or that band. They have the opportunity to, at least, even though artists don't get any money for it, the bottom line is they have an opportunity. It's the only good thing, I think, that they can go back, because they don't have enough years to catch up on rock and roll. No one does. There's too much music. But, this album has and I like interviewing people when their music wakes me up a little bit. That old thing we all had as kids of going, "What is that?"
Yes.
Oh, that's really great. I can't do anything else. I want to listen alone. I want to do it. Iron Horse is another one. Great guitar riff.
Well, those two you picked out, they basically were Colin and Marcus's get-togethers. Mm-hmm. And Colin's old man worked on the railways. He was I don't know if he's an engine driver, but he certainly worked on the railways all of his life. So that's where Iron Horse came from, because it's Colin's recollection of the railways. And Land of the Vandals was worked on between. I don't know the actual story behind that one.
I like the way it fades in, by the way. It's ominous the way it comes in to start the album.
To be honest, that was a bit cheeky because we stuck that on because that's how we get on stage as well. So that building up noise, gets us on stage, and then there's no lights. We go on a blackout, and then when we get to Marcus counts it in. 2, 3, 4, and then the lights are on, and it's all happening.
Miss Constable, nice BG vocals on that, nice background vocals on that. I like that.
Well, that's down to Marcus. He did all of that stuff. But that song is actually a product of my last divorce. Miss Constable was actually the lawyer that took care of my ex-wife, and she was a real bitch. So I think that might actually have been the first song we did together. Come to think of it, not Surround Surround. I think it was that one.
It had to be written.
Oh yeah.
A Sting in the Tail is the name of the brand new 10 Years After album. It'll be released on March 19th. And Ric Lee has a brand new book called Headstocks to Woodstock. There'll be links in the description of this video. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our video. We'll have more from Ric Lee in a few days. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music.